Have you ever wished your AI could really speak your company's language? I mean, truly get it? Well, today we're going to dive into how you can build your very own custom AI models completely serverlessly right inside of Snowflake. Let's get into how Snowflake Cortex is making this a reality. So let's start with a really big question. You're using these incredibly powerful large language models, but do they actually understand the little details of your business? You know, the specific jargon, the unique customer requests, all that domain-specific data? A lot of the time, the answer is, well, not quite. So here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll kick things off with the challenge of custom AI, then we'll define what Cortex fine-tuning actually is and figure out where it fits in your toolkit. After that, we're getting hands-on with the 4-step workflow. We'll see how to use your brand new model, and then we'll wrap up with all the essential details you need to know. All right, let's jump right in. The core challenge here is actually pretty simple. How do you take these incredibly smart, general-purpose AIs and turn them into specialists that understand your business and your data the way you do? I mean, think about it. A model like Llama 3 or Mistral knows a ton about the world, but it has no idea about the specific patterns in your company's support tickets or the unique lingo in your financial reports. And that gap right there between general knowledge and specialized performance, that's exactly what we need to fix. And that brings us right to the solution. Snowflake Cortex fine-tuning is built to be your personal in-house AI tailor. And the best part? Your data never, ever has to leave the secure walls of the Snowflake ecosystem. Okay, so the magic behind this has a bit of a fancy name, Parameter Efficient Fine-Tuning, or just PEFT for short. Now, instead of training a massive model from scratch, which is just insanely expensive, PEFT is way smarter. It just updates a tiny little fraction of the model's parameters. It's a ridiculously efficient way to teach an old model some very cool new tricks. This analogy here is just perfect. You're not trying to weave the fabric or design the suit from scratch. No way. You're taking a high-quality, pre-made suit, that's your base model, and you're just adjusting the sleeves and the seams so it fits your specific needs absolutely perfectly. It's faster, it's cheaper, and you get a totally custom result. So where does this whole tailoring approach fit in with all the other AI customization options out there? Let's take a look, because understanding this really helps see why fine-tuning often hits that perfect sweet spot. This slide lays it all out beautifully. On one end, you've got prompt engineering and RAG. They're low cost, pretty easy, and give you good results, but they have their limits. On the other extreme, you have training a model from scratch. Yeah, you get maximum control, but it is astronomically expensive and complex. And right there in that perfect middle ground, that's fine-tuning. It gives you that high-performance boost for a really moderate cost and complexity. All right, enough theory. Let's get practical. How do you actually do this? Well, the beauty of how Snowflake has built this is its simplicity. It all boils down to a super clear 4-step workflow. And there you have it. It's truly this straightforward. You get your data ready, you kick off the training with one SQL command, yep, just one. You monitor the job, and then you start using your model. And the best part is everything happens inside the Snowflake environment you already know. No new platforms to learn, no complex MLOps pipelines to build out. Now, step 1 is the most important part, your data. It has to live in a Snowflake table, and your query needs to create 2 very specific columns, prompt and completion. The prompt is the question you ask the model, and the completion is the perfect answer you want it to learn. And you don't need millions of examples. A few hundred high-quality ones can make a massive difference. And here it is, step 2. This single SQL command kicks off the entire process. You're just calling the fine-tune function, telling it to create a model called MyTunedModel using Mistral 7b as the base, and then you point it to your training data. It's just beautifully simple. Now, since these jobs can take a little while to run, you need a way to manage them. And again, it's all done with simple versions of that same fine-tune function. You can show all your jobs, describe a specific one to see how it's doing, or even cancel it if you need to. Once it's done, you can even check out a result CSV to see how the training went. Okay, now for the moment we've all been waiting for. After all that work, it's time to see the payoff and actually use your new specialized AI model. And just look at this. If you've ever used Snowflake's Cortex functions, this should look incredibly familiar. You use the exact same complete function as before, but instead of calling a generic model like Mistral 7b, you simply pass in the name of your new model, my_tuned model. That's it. You are now running inference against your very own custom AI. How cool is that? Okay, before you run off and start training everything, let's cover a few of the essential details. The nuts and bolts you'll need to know to really get started successfully. First up, which off-the-rack suits can you choose from? Well, Snowflake gives you a fantastic selection of top-tier models from Meta and Mistral. You can grab smaller, faster models like Mistral 7B for quick tasks, or you can go for the absolute powerhouses like Llama 3 70B for really complex reasoning and content creation. Next is a really critical technical detail, the context window. As you can see here, every prompt and completion pair in your training data has to fit within these token limits. So for example, with Llama 3 8B, your input prompt can be up to 6,000 tokens long, and the completion can be up to 2,000. It's super important to keep this in mind when you're getting your data ready. And finally, just a quick roundup of the logistics. Cost is based on the tokens you process, and you can easily track it. Security is handed through standard Snowflake roles and privileges you're already used to. And maybe best of all, these models are just like other database objects. You can share them with other accounts or even replicate them to different regions. So let's wrap this all up with the key takeaway. Snowflake has put a seriously powerful serverless AI factory directly into your hands. You can now create highly specialized, high-performing AI models using the curated, governed, and trusted data that you already have, all without ever having to move it. This really is a game changer for what's possible. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What's the first unique challenge, the very first specific business problem that you are going to solve with your own custom-built AI? The possibilities are now wide open.